What if the key to a truly profound spiritual connection wasn't in some new practice, but was actually hidden in a text you thought you already knew? Well, today, we're diving into a pretty mind-blowing idea from Dr. Hini Atchan that suggests exactly that. So I want you to imagine this, a chapter of the Quran you've probably read a bunch of times. What if it isn't just a story? What if it's actually a hidden instruction manual, a practical step-by-step guide for achieving a direct, deep connection with the divine, and not in the afterlife, but right here, right now? And this is pretty much exactly what Dr. Hini Atchan says he experienced. He explains that after this one key insight, the Quran started revealing a lot more of its secrets. The terminology will make the Quran light up like you've never seen it before. Sounds incredible, right? So let's get into it and see exactly what he's talking about. Okay, so here's the core of it. On his channel, The Marvelous Quran, Dr. Hani points to one specific chapter, Surah Al-Insan. That's chapter 76. He says it contains a practical, hands-on methodology. Yeah, a step-by-step process for a deeper divine connection that's basically been hiding in plain sight this whole time. And this is really the crucial shift in perspective. Most people read it as just a story, but Dr. Hani reveals it as an active process. We're talking about moving from just, passively reading something to actively engaging with it, like it's a blueprint for spiritual transformation. Now, the very first key to unlocking this whole process, it starts with a pretty radical re-understanding of a central concept, Jannah, or what we usually call paradise. And listen, this is a huge paradigm shift. I mean, the traditional view, the one most of us know, is that Jannah is a physical garden in the afterlife. But Dr. Hani's revelation is that it's something totally different. He says it's a state of privileged understanding that you can access right here, in this life. And here's where it gets really interesting, because the proof is right there in the language. The word Jannah, it comes from a root that means to conceal. So Dr. Hani explains this isn't just a garden. It's a private, concealed place of profound insight. Think of it like a privileged state of mind, shielded from all the noise of the outside world. So you might be asking, what's the point? What's the benefit of entering this state? Well, in a word, freedom. This kind of Jannah liberates you from what Dr. Hani calls cognitive shackles and mental constraints. It's a path to real, true, intellectual, and spiritual freedom. Okay, so if Jannah is a state of being we can access right now, the next question is pretty obvious, right? Who can actually get there, and how do they do it? Well, the Quran points to a very specific group of people. This path is for the Abrar, the loyal and scrupulous believers. These are the folks who are meant to walk this path. So what does it actually mean to be one of the Abrar? The Quran gives us a pretty clear picture of their mindset. First off, they're patient and diligent in their seeking. They're also constantly vigilant, almost afraid of losing that precious connection. They're the ones who fulfill their pledge to God. And this is important, they share their knowledge and insights with others. But, and this is the critical part, they do it only to please God, not for any kind of reward or praise from other people. All right, so we know who can walk the path, the Abrar. But now for the big question, the how. And this is where Dr. Hani unpacks the practical, actionable part of the methodology. And honestly, it is absolutely fascinating. He reveals that the Quran actually embeds its own instruction manual inside of specific composite words. How cool is that? The keys to the whole method aren't in some other book or commentary. They are literally built right into the language of the chapter itself. Let's take the first key as an example, the word salsabilan. Now, it's usually just translated as, a spring in paradise. But Dr. Hani breaks it down and reveals its hidden structure. He shows it's a composite of two parts, sal, which is a command verb meaning ask, and sabilan, which means to find the way. So the word itself is an instruction, ask to find the way. The whole process kicks off simply by asking the right questions. Okay, now for the second key, zenjabilan. And again, this is a word that's usually just translated as ginger, but its composite nature tells a completely different story. Dr. Hani shows that zen means to scale or to use morphology, and jabilian refers to linguistic units. So the hidden command here is to analyze the text with incredible precision using correctly scaled linguistic units. It's about a disciplined approach. So let's put this all together into the actual process. It really boils down to 3 clear steps. First, you observe the text with that patience of the Abrar. Second, you ask to find the way, just like the word salsabilan instructs. And third,
You analyze the text using those correctly scaled linguistic units, which is the principle hidden inside Zendjibilin. See? It's a complete, self-contained methodology.
But following this process, it's not just about getting some intellectual understanding. No, the outcome, the reward, is something way, way more profound.
The result is that state of freedom we were talking about earlier. It's a direct connection where insights and understanding just begin to flow. The text describes it like a gushing fountain, and the more you engage with this process, the more that fountain gives.
Okay, now, this is where things get really, and I mean truly, mind-blowing. This connection isn't just some vague feeling or a subjective experience. He points out that the Quran actually describes tangible, physical proof that you're on the right path and that the connection is real.
So what are these signs? Well, they're described as actual physical perceptions of scattered shimmers or seeing blinking lights and sparkles. We're talking about real phenomena that you could experience with your eyes open or even closed. Dr. Hani calls this a valid insight from the divine realm. It's like getting direct feedback, confirmation that, yes, your connection has been established. So when you put it all together, what this all means is that the entire methodology, from redefining Jannah all the way to unlocking this linguistic code, it isn't just some abstract theory. It's a practical pathway to a tangible, real, lived spiritual experience. And that, of course, brings us to a final, pretty powerful question. I mean, if just one chapter can contain such a profound, hidden methodology, what else is embedded within the Quran's incredible linguistic structure, just sitting there waiting to be unlocked? Now, what we've covered here is really just a glimpse into the teachings of Dr. Hanya Achan. For the complete, in-depth understanding of this methodology and a ton of other profound insights, you're definitely invited to watch the Marvelous Quran channel.